why not finish it out? So I'm just going to be obedient, okay, and finish it out. So they talked about stoning him, but David found strength in the Lord his God. I'm not going to go back over anything. This is part 3. So if you clicked on this video, please go back and read. We're on Propelled to Prosper series, talking about the David series. We have already read from 1 Samuel till now. I'm going to finish this part out because we would not finish the next part of the series until about July, August time, Lord's will. God's having me to do other videos and other things, but I had to release this series, the Propelled to Prosper series, the David series. Please go check out part 1. Go check out part 2, and this is the 3rd part. You can finish listening to this part, but I would encourage you to go listen to part 1 and 2 so you can be caught up and know what's going on. So I'm just going to continue to read. We're on 1 Samuel 30. So David found strength in the Lord his God. Then he said to Abiathar the priest, "Bring me the ephod." So Abiathar brought it. Then David asked the Lord, "Should I chase after this band of raiders? Will I catch them?" Give me a minute, guys. If you guys know, we just finished over 2 hours, about 2.5 hours for the second part. And I have not been eating. I've been fasting, so I'm a little thirsty. So you're going to see me come to this water because that's all I've been drinking for this morning. I didn't eat. So he said, and the Lord told him, "Yes, go after them. You will surely recover everything that was taken from you." So David and his 600 men set out, and they came to the brook Besor. But 200 of the men were too exhausted to cross the brook. So David continued the pursuit with 400 men. Along the way, they found an Egyptian man in the field and brought him to David. They gave him some bread to eat and water to drink. Look, for some of you that feel like you're counted out or people have counted you out, God knows how to avenge you. God knows how to redeem you. God knows how to restore you. God knows how to put you back in the game. Let them count you out. God knows what he's doing. Amen. I'm not going to worry about that necklace right now. I don't know. I'll fix it later. Let's continue with the word. Don't mind that, guys. So they also gave him some bread to eat and water to drink. They also gave him part of a fig cake and 2 clusters of raisins, for he hadn't had anything to eat or drink for 3 days and nights. Before long, his strength returned. And somebody needs to receive that. Before long, your strength is returning. In fact, I decree and declare that your strength is returning today. Physical strength, mental strength, emotional strength, the strength that you need to endure and go forward with your journey, God is releasing today. "To whom do you belong and where do you come from?" David asked him. "I am an Egyptian, the slave of an Amalekite," he replied. "My master abandoned me 3 days ago because I was sick. We were on our way back from raiding the Kerethites in the Negev, the territory of Judah, and the land of Caleb, and we had just burned Ziklag." Now remember, in our second part, we were saying that a lot of different downloads. You have to go back and listen. But God always, will release the right people to you in your season that you're going, and that you also have to have heard God and be hearing God to know the new strategies and the new season and the new people that he's releasing into your life. "So will you lead me to this band of raiders?" David asked. The young man replied, "If you take an oath in God's name that you will not kill me or give me back to my master, then I will guide you to them." So he led David to them, and they found the Amalekites spread out across the fields, eating and drinking and dancing with joy because of the vast amount of plunder they had taken from the Philistines in the land of Judah. God is a very detailed God. David and his men rushed in among them and slaughtered them throughout that night and the entire next day until evening. None of the Amalekites escaped except 400 young men who fled on camels. David got back everything. Somebody decree and declare, "I'm getting back everything that the Lord has for me." Somebody decree and declare that. And you're going to begin to see manifestation of it in Jesus' name. So David got back everything from the Amalekites had taken, and he rescued his 2 wives. Nothing was missing, small or great, son or daughter, nor anything else that had been taken. David brought everything back. He also recovered. Somebody say, "I am recovering." David also recovered all the flocks and herds, and his men drove them ahead of the other livestock. "This plunder belongs to David," they said. Then David returned to the brook Besor and met up with the 200 men who had been left behind because they were too exhausted to go with him. They went out to meet David and his men, and David greeted them joyfully. But some evil troublemakers among David's men said, "They didn't go with us, so they can't have any of the plunder we recovered. Give them and their wives and children, and tell them, give them their wives and children, and tell them to be gone. But we'll watch God and listen to God." So, but David said, "No, my brothers, don't be selfish. with what the Lord has given us. He has kept us safe and helped us defeat the band of raiders that attacked us. Who will listen when you talk like this? We share and share alike. Those who go to battle and those who guard the equipment. From then on, David made this a decree and regulation for Israel, and it still follows today. Look, Paul said, I forgot where it is, but he said, I planted, Apollos watered, but God brought the increase. Or one of them watered and planted, but it was watering and planting. They each played their position, and God brought the increase. And that's what God is saying to some of you today. It's just like I was here. You be obedient and do your position and play a position and do this. The other person does this. Watch God bless it because you're united. There's blessings in unity. Okay, I encourage some of you to read Psalms 133. So let's keep reading because we're almost done. We're going to finish up. So when he arrived at Ziklag, David sent part of the plunder to the elders of Judah, who were his friends. Here is a present for you, taken from the Lord's enemies, he said. The gifts were sent to the people of the following towns David had visited: to Bethel, Ramoth Negev, Jatir, Aurora, Sipmoth, Estemoa, Rakal, the towns of the Jeremites, the towns of the Kenites, Hormah, Borashan, Octa, Hebron, and all the other places David and his men had visited. And to wrap it up, we're going to finish out on 1 Samuel 31. Again, guys, make sure you go back and listen to part 2 and part 1 of the Propelled to Prosper, the David series. If you haven't checked out the Rise to the Occasion, the Joseph series, make sure you go back and check that out. Feel free to browse any of the videos on here on this channel. You'll be richly blessed and encouraged. And I do send out emails if you guys need daily devotionals. I do send emails. And I pray for you guys, but I don't just send like just general emails. Sometimes I do send general emails and text messages, but for this ministry, it'll be email only. And I try to, and I pray over you. I try to hear what God is saying for you. So it's a specific word for you. So if you guys need daily encouragement with the emails, make sure that you send it. Send me a message to my email. Leave a comment below if the video has blessed you. Any praise reports, prayer requests, make sure you send them to the email. That information will be in the description box. So let's close out the death of Saul. And if you went back and you listened to the first or second part, you realize that we were going to get back up to this point, talking about the death of Saul. So now the Philistines attack Israel. 1 Samuel 31. And the men of Israel fled before him. Many were slaughtered on the slopes of Mount Gilboa. The Philistines closed in on Saul and his sons, and they killed 3 of his sons. Now remember, it was just prophesied a few chapters before when he consulted the medium for Samuel, that Samuel prophesied the death. Remember, we just read that in part 2. So the fulfillment of the prophecy has come to pass. So the Philistines closed in on Saul and his sons, and they killed 3 of his sons. They killed Jonathan, who was the one that was in covenant with David. They killed Aminadab, and they killed Malchishua. The fighting grew very fierce around Saul, and the Philistine archers caught up with him and wounded him severely. Saul groaned to his armor bearer. Remember, we were talking about the importance of not touching your enemies, letting God deal with them. Take your sword and kill me before these pagan Philistines come to run me through and taunt and torture me. But his armor bearer was afraid and would not do it. So Saul took his own sword. He killed himself. Suicide, and fell on it. When his armor bearer realized that Saul was dead, he fell on his own sword and died beside the king. So Saul, his 3 sons, his armor bearer, and his troops all died together the same day. When the Israelites on the other side of Jezreel Valley and beyond the Jordan saw that the Israelite army had fled and that Saul and his sons were dead, they abandoned their towns and fled. So the Philistines moved in and occupied their towns. The next day, when the Philistines went out to strip the dead, they found the bodies of Saul and his 3 sons on Mount Gilboa. Remember, I said pay attention to the dates, pay attention to the times, pay attention to the names, pay attention to what God is showing you guys. Okay, so the Philistines moved in and occupied their towns. Okay, so we read that. So they cut off Saul's head and stripped off his armor. Then they proclaimed the good news of Saul's death in their pagan temple and to the people throughout the land of Philistia. They placed his armor in the temple of the Astorites, and they fastened his body to the wall of the city of Bethshan. But when the people of Jabesh Gilead heard what the Philistines had done to Saul, all their mighty warriors traveled through the night to Bethshan and took the bodies of Saul and his sons down from the wall. They brought them to Jabesh, where they burned the bodies. Then they took their bones and buried them beneath the tamarisk tree at Gabesh, and they fasted for 7 days. Now, guys, I pray that you guys were blessed by this David series, Propelled to Prosper. We're going to come back on because God has me doing other things. We're going to come back on in July or August, Lord's will, this year. And we're going to read more of 2 Samuel continuing on. But for now, be encouraged by this series. There's hundreds, literally hundreds of other videos that I have uploaded on this channel. So there's a lot of words. So you guys can be encouraged by the channel. Go get some other videos off of it. And I will see you guys back on here concerning the David series in about July, August. And if I have any other videos that God has given me or any other series, I'll start doing that, okay? But you guys be blessed. I love you. Bye-bye.